No fear. Okay. You can come a little bit closer. Tell you what, you're a little bit taller than the rest, you're a little bit shorter. If you two could come here, and you stand in the back, and you stand in the front. Excellent. What is that wind? Is that wind?
Might be rain.
That's pretty loud. Yellow after the rain? Sorry, I guess somebody thinks that, right? Okay, if you could just like move a little bit, then the camera can get a better view. Yeah, good. That's amazing.
Yeah.
I mean, I love the sound, but it really doesn't belong if I'm in a concert. Okay, now every one of you take 2 to 3 steps closer. Excellent. Okay, now here's what I'm going to do. I'm going to play a note, and I want everybody to listen extremely carefully, concentrating on what I'm playing. Now, for those of you who didn't see that, I'm going to do it again. For that note, and for any note that you play on the marimba, there are 5 sounds. 5. Can anybody name what those sounds could be? Think what those 5 sounds could be that have to do with that sound and any sound that you're going to play on the marimba. Could you be more specific?
There's the attack, the yarn hitting the bar.
Wait. Are those 2 different things or one thing?
I'm not sure.
Okay, no, it's okay. Don't have to be sure. We're going to try. First of all, the attack and the yarn hitting the bar. We're not sure if that's a separate sound or if that's the same sound, because what you want to say is like the attack of the bar, meaning the percussive sound going through, and there's actually whether you not hear the yarn as opposed to the attack of the bar. Okay, but that's 2 out of 5. Let's continue, see if somebody can hit the 5. Yeah.
You hear the fundamental tone,
Okay.
and then the harmonics above that.
Is that one sound, or is that several sounds?
I'd say it's several.
How about it's one sound and have several components? Because you cannot separate one from the other. I mean, theoretically, you can muffle one, but then you've muffled the sound. You follow?
Mm-hmm.
So, you're on the right track. You're hearing a sound, which is a composite, the fundamental and the overtones, but every sound in Earth's atmosphere consists of a fundamental and overtones. We wouldn't call that a different sound. So, let's try it again. We have from you an attack and the sound of the yarn. And from you we have the fundamental and the overtones. We're not sure if that's one or several parts. Anybody want to hazard a guess?
The resonance,
What does that mean, the
the
resonance?
sound that comes after you've struck the mallet or struck the bar
Which resonance?
of the bar.
Oh, okay, so the
Yes.
ringing of the bar.
Yes.
That's what you want to say. The
Yes.
ringing of the bar is one sound?
One sound over time.
Okay, one sound over time, decreasing, right?
Yeah.
Anything else? Don't be sorry if you're not able to hit this. I understand it takes a lot of thought to figure out what are we hearing, right? Want to think about what we're hearing, because these are the building blocks of the musicians you want to be. Yeah,
The room?
the room. Do we hear the room?
Well, we hear the interaction of the sound of the marimba with the room.
Okay, that's a good point. Is that one sound or 2 sounds? Interaction. So
Yeah, so that would say it's two, right?
we'll clear that up. Oh, yeah?
When it ends, like when the sound stops.
When the sound stops. Okay, is the sound stopping a sound, or is that the stopping of the sound?
Stopping the sound.
Okay, so the stopping of the sound is a sound in itself?
No. I guess
Who says the stopping of the sound is a sound in itself? Who says the stopping of the sound or the end of the sound is not a sound in itself? Who has no opinion on the matter? Who is unsure? Who speaks English? Great. I will tell you how I see this. Did we all just hear the rain on the outside? That's what I call the silence. In other words, that is the pre-sound. Because anything that I play, remember, we're seeing this with our eyes, but we're not actually listening as well as we should, comes in a palette of the sound inside the room taking place at the moment we strike. You follow what I mean? The silence is not necessarily pure silence. It means the sound of the space that we are now violating by bringing the sound of this vibrating palisander or rosewood into the mix. So, the silence could include the rain. The silence could include the microphones buzzing or the lights. It could be the cracking of the floor as we change our weight. That's the silence. The silence is the first sound of the marimba because it doesn't exist in a vacuum. The second is the actual striking, which could be a composite sound, right? If you have one mallet against the bar, is sound number 2. Sound number 2, once again. Listen again. Sound number 1. You hear it now, right? And sound number 2. What is sound number 3? Could you be more specific? Yes.
I mean, something that I hear is also like the frame, the sound of the frame.
That is unintentional. That's not what we want, except for one exception, the resonator. If I take out the resonator, do we still have a sound from playing the bar? Absolutely. So by adding the resonator, and if the resonator is in pitch or out of pitch, that is another sound. If I put my hand above the resonator, anybody hear a difference? So this we thought, because we saw one stroke, we didn't understand that it's a composite sound consisting of the stroke of the mallet against the bar and then the resonator. 2 different sounds, preceded by the silence. What's number 4? This should be getting easier, folks. What's number 4? In German, we say das Zimmer. In French, la chambre.
The decay?
The room has a different sound. I guarantee you, you change the room, and you will change the sound of what you're creating here. Because the sound is going to go from here, bounce off there, and come back. That is the sound we are creating. We are not seeing that sound. But if we listen carefully, we hear it. Listen carefully, we'll play the same sound, and we will realize there is the stroke, there is the resonator, and there is the resonance of the room. What's the 5th sound?
It would be silence again.
The return to silence. This is the canvas upon which we are painting our picture. Because the paint has to be set someplace in space. So once we're actually able to listen to what it is we're doing, we're not just playing thinking, this is a D flat, or in this case a B flat, and we play the B flat and we have executed our duty. No, we need to listen, the energy coming in, to be able to put the energy back out. We need to listen to silence better. Because if it's really loud outside, then you will raise your voice to be heard. Right? If there's noise in the back of the hall, you will need to project your sound, which changes the stroke, which changes the resonator, which changes the resonance in the room. Are you all with me? I don't want to lose anybody. Okay, now we're going to get to a special treat. I want you all to listen carefully. What did I request you to do? Listen carefully. Did you feel that? Can you put into words what you felt? Not only what you heard, what you felt? Got to do this, people. What did you feel? I'll do this again. Be aware of what you're hearing. Be aware of what you're feeling. Yeah.
I felt vibrations through my feet.
Great. You felt vibrations through your feet. What?
I guess I felt a sense of like just tension.
Tension. Tell me about that tension.
Just a need for resolution.
Okay. You mean because of dissonance and consonance or because of vibration?
I'd say probably more because of dissonance and consonance.
Dissonance and consonance. Okay. Anybody else feel something?
I felt a pulse that sort of got bigger with each hit. I felt that there was a fundamental tone from when you would hit the bar, and then when it would resonate. And I felt that when it resonated, it was more of a tone coming out and more of a pulse coming through.
More of a pulse. Like a rhythmic pulse or more like a frequency?
Like a frequency pulse.
Okay, excellent. And?
When you started playing, it felt like the space opened, and then when you stopped, you feel the space close again.
Okay, excellent. Now I'm going to fill you on a secret that I really wish somebody had told me when I was a young man. There's something very special happening, and we are confused by our eyes. If you were standing exactly right there in front of me, and you were looking at these resonators, what is the first word that you would normally have jump to your mind? Normally. You're sitting in front, you're watching, you see the resonators. What's the first word that comes to your mind? Organ. Specifically? Organ pipes. Right? Because that's what it looks like. That's what your eyes are telling you. These look like organ pipes. There's nothing else they look like, right? I mean, nothing else in the world. That's what they look like. What's the difference between these guys here and organ pipes? The major difference?
Length.
Length. Okay? I would have said something else, but we'll come back to that a little bit later. How about the hole? There's a hole at the bottom of the pipe on an organ because it's whistling as it goes through the organ. Remember the organ? The air is created by a bellows, and that air whistles as it goes through. This does not have that hole at the bottom. It has only one hole at the top, which means it's not an organ. It is a bottle. It's a bottle that you're blowing into. So if it's a bigger bottle, and then you pour some water into the bottle, and pour, right? You with me so far? When I start to play these lower notes, and when you are all standing close to me, your lungs will start to act like the resonators. Large resonant cavity, one hole at the top, and when I hit that pitch, your bodies are vibrating. Let me try it again and see if you feel it this time. Leave your mouths open, see if it makes a difference. If you understand, you are able to not only play notes with the mallets that you see are moving, you are able to breathe the music as it happens, because your lungs are how you breathe. Your lungs are how you sing, and when you are feeling that resonance inside your body, you are becoming one with the music. You just have to let yourself feel it instead of looking at the mallets moving. Because the soul of this is not only the wood, the soul of the instrument is in the air that we don't see. You have to learn to see it and how to manipulate it, because the temperature of the air makes a difference, and the humidity of the air makes a difference, and the proximity makes a difference. And you know why it feels so good when you're playing this instrument? Anybody know that? What is it?
Beethoven 3 movement 2.
Beethoven 7, second movement, yes. Marvelous piece, right? I love my job. Do you understand how if you are able to say, this is a breathing organism, you can not only bang it like a percussion instrument, you are able to bring the monster to life. It can breathe with you, and therefore with your audience.
You want to take a break? There's about 45 minutes?
Yes.
To reset
Okay,
games and stuff?
I will be very happy to answer any questions you have, or to try. I will ask you to ask the questions towards the end so I can answer them once for everybody. We're going to take a 5-minute break, get some air, a little bit of motion. We're going to change the clips and the cameras, and then we'll hope to see you again in 5 minutes. Thank you.